If you've ever tried adding something to your Google Calendar with Siri, you know the pain. Hey Siri, add meeting with Jon tomorrow at 3.
Calling Jon Tamara at 3 a.m.
Yeah, we've had enough. Typing stuff manually is annoying, voice assistants are unreliable, and I wanted something that actually works. So I built my own AI calendar assistant using Telegram, GPT-4, and Google Calendar. It understands both voice and text, and it won't confuse Team Sync with Team Sync. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to build it, from handling user input, transcribing voice messages, interpreting natural language, to syncing it all with your calendar. If you've been curious about building AI agents that are actually useful, this is the perfect starter project. Let's build something smarter than Siri. Okay guys, here is our workflow. I'm gonna start us off by doing a quick walkthrough so we can get an overview of how this all works, and then we'll go do a demo and see what it actually does, and then we'll do our step-by-step build so we can see the process from beginning to end. So we always want to start off with our trigger node right here. That receives the user input, so it's whatever we put into our chatbot, so in text or voice. And then we want to decide, now that we have that data, is it a voice message or is it a text message? If it's a voice message, we need to download the voice file and then transcribe it using OpenAI. And then because we transcribe it, that allows our AI agent to basically execute on what we ask of it. So it can either create an event or get events or update a calendar or delete events. So that just means it can say you have a meeting with Nancy tomorrow at 5, it can add that to your calendar. If you want to check what you have to do tomorrow, you can have it get events. Or if you want to have it change that meeting that you booked with Nancy to the next week, then you can have it update. Or if you obviously wanted to delete events, it can delete events. So our AI agent uses its tools to do that, and then we use our chat model as the brain behind the operations. We use ChatGPT, OpenAI's ChatGPT. I'm always faithful to it for most projects, especially ones that are simple like this. And then after our AI agent accomplishes what we want it to accomplish, we have it send a response to Telegram. So it just tells us that, yes, it did what we wanted it to and gives us the update. That's what we actually receive on our end. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna just click execute workflow, and we're gonna ask it, what do I have to do on my calendar tomorrow? Okay, sweet. Then it processes, it sees that it's a voice message, so it runs it through this way, and then our AI agent receives it and asks it to get events because it's checking, and then so then we have our barbershop appointment tomorrow, our prostate exam, and our meeting with Mike. Let's see if that's right. There we are. And it says all the times and everything correctly as well. Now, I don't want to get my prostate checked tomorrow. So let's ask it to, I'll actually do this on my phone because we set that up as well. You can see this, and I'm going to ask it to, got to execute workflow so to make sure that it's listening. Then we'll have it cancel the prostate exam tomorrow. And then it sends the voice recording, adds it into the workflow, and then our AI agent does what it needs to do. See, it deletes the event, and then let's go check it out. See, the event's gone. Awesome. Okay, now that we have kind of this overview, and now that we see how it works, what it does, let's move into our live build. We start off with our trigger always. Where do we get our data from, and what do we want to trigger a workflow? We want it to be from our Telegram chat over here. Every time we send a message, we want it to trigger the workflow. So we're going to use a Telegram trigger. We just type in Telegram, and then it's going to be on message because it's each time we send a message, that's what triggers this workflow. We have to set up our credentials first. Super easy. I already created mine, but if you want to start and create yours, just press create new credential, and we need our access token. So we're just going to open the docs, and N8N gives a step-by-step guide for all of this. Each time you need to add credentials, It makes it super easy. All we do is create a Telegram account, ignore this stuff, and then we just go down to these directions right here. Then we start off here, and then once we get to the bottom, then we have our access token, which we just enter in right here, and then we're good to go. So we have our Telegram account all set up, and then we're going to want to start off by sending data through here just to get an idea of what we're working with. And it helps make everything else easier in the process so then you can transfer the data. Okay, we're going to execute the workflow, and then we'll say, I want to add a meeting with John at 5 p.m. on Friday. Thank you. That sends it into our Telegram node. That just sends that voice recording in. And now we want to decide if it's a voice recording to go one way, or if it's a text message, it goes the other way. So we're going to add an if node. And that's basically true or false. If it's a voice note, then it goes one way. If it's a text message, then it goes the other way. How we're going to do that is we just go down to here under voice, and we take the key MIME type to get the value as audio/og. We're going to put that into here, and basically each time we put something through, it'll give us this value in return because it's right up here. So if that value is equal to audio/og, we'll just copy and paste it into here. Since we just put the voice note through here, we know that's what it means when it's voice, when it's a voice recording. When that is equal to audio/og, it sends it as true. If it's not equal to audio/og, it sends it as false. Starting off with true, we're going to want to first of all get our file from the voice recording. So that'll be a Telegram node, and that should just be get a file. Super easy. And all we need to do, we're going to want to send this through here, execute this step, and see we'll have the data to work with, making it all easier to hook up. So our file ID, that is right down here, super simple under file ID, right? Makes it easy for us. And then that's good to go. We're just going to execute that just so the data keeps on moving. And then as we saw, you can, actually we'll go into it just to show you. You can see we have our voice file right here. And then, move it over a little bit, and then we'll go into our transcription. We want to be able to transcribe that file into text. So how are we going to do that? We're going to use a OpenAI node, and it makes it easy on us. Transcribe a recording. Super simple, and it's already all set up for us. The data is put into this data field name, and it just takes that voice recording and puts it through. But I will say, if you haven't set this up before, you're going to need to start off with creating your credentials for OpenAI. You just go in, click create a new credential. It's so easy. I'll just show you really quick. We're going to just press open docs. Super simple. Create an OpenAI account. I already have mine set up, so we're just going to log in, and I'll do that really quick. Awesome. And now we are in. We just go straight to settings. Don't need to read all that stuff. And we go to API keys, and then we just press create a new secret key. Label it whatever you want. Maybe we'll do N8N to make sure we know. N8N test. Okay, now create new secret key. Now this is our key. This is basically the passcode, so we can use our OpenAI account over here, and we can use it with N8N. Simple as that. Press save, and we are good to go. We are connected. So now we have access to OpenAI through this software, N8N. Okay, that's all set up. That's good to go. We're just going to execute the steps so the data runs through, and we should see our text. This is the voice recording just turned into text right here. And then what do we want to do next? We want to have our AI agent set up, have our AI agent receive our voice recording that's transcribed into text, and we want to have it work its magic. We're going to set up an OpenAI agent right here, and then we're going to want to define below so we can set up our own prompt or our own user message. We're actually just going to go make it quick and easy, grab our user message from here. This was just in the prompt in our node or in our workflow that's already set up. And we're just going to copy and paste it. Super simple. And I'll just show you guys. So you are my personal digital assistant. Your purpose is to help me manage my personal calendar efficiently, taking into account priorities and recurring events. Here's my calendar ID. So this is the calendar that I want it to be accessing and changing, and yeah. So today is, you want to make sure it has the date and time so it knows when to reference when you're saying tomorrow, Friday, right? So it knows what it should be changing or what it should be doing, where, when, right? And then we have our instructions. That is just simply taken from right up here. I'll just show you guys how that works. This is our key, and then this is the value. I'm going to drag the key over here, and this key is always going to be linked to this value, whatever is coming from here. This is dynamic. This can change each time. This is just going to be what we say in the chat, basically. And you can see the key is here, and then this is what it translates to. I want to add a meeting with John at 5 p.m. on Friday. Thank you. That's what we said earlier. Okay, sweet. We are going to X that out. And yeah, we don't need to do any of that for this AI agent. Okay, now our AI agent looks sad, right? We want to give it a brain, give it some tools to work with. So we're going to start off with our OpenAI, just a little ChatGPT brain, right? We're going to keep it as 4.1 mini, and your credentials should already be set up from earlier. But just 4.1 mini is fine for this. It's a pretty simple process. It's not too much writing involved. It's really just figuring out a calendar, which is pretty simple for an LLM to do. And we can use 4.1 mini because it's less expensive as well. Okay, now we want to add tools to its tool belt. Now we can add Google Calendar. Oh, awesome. Okay, sweet. This Google Calendar allows us to create an event. And what we're going to want to do is we're actually going to want to let the model define each of these parameters. Our AI agent is smart enough to do all of this, so we're going to leave it all up to them. And we're actually going to add a field as well, just to make sure, and put in summary so it can add the titles as well to give it access to all of this. Okay, sweet. So now that we have that set up, we're basically just going to want to create a few more tools for itself. We're going to do this. We're just going to go quick and duplicate this. Make it super easy on ourselves. Duplicate it one more time because we want 4 tools. So let's line these up. Okay, here we are. So we don't want them to do all the same thing. We do want to connect, but we want to make them 4 different tools. So we're going to start off here, and we're going to change this from create an event to get many events. That way it can check what we have to do tomorrow. It can, if we ask it to, it can retrieve anything that's already on our calendar and let us know what's going on. So again, just let the AI agent work its magic and handle all of this. Sweet. So then we'll do the same for this next one, and this will just be update. So it can update an event, so it can change. If we have a meeting with Nancy at 5 p.m. tomorrow, it can change it to 6 p.m. on Friday, right? We just, again, do that. We're going to want to add the summary again as well, so it can change the title if need be. Let them all find it. Okay, awesome. That all looks good to go. And then last of all, we're just going to want to make sure it can delete an event. So we're going to press delete right here. Super simple. That's it. Now it can get rid of events, clear our schedules if we need a day off, right? Okay, cool. So now we have the trigger. Now it can decide whether it's a voice recording, but we still need to add if it's a text, right? If we put text in the box right here, we want to allow it to run through. So we're going to put a set node right here. Once it loads, here we are. Okay, cool. Actually, first what we're going to do is we have this set node, and now we just want some data to play with. We're going to execute workflow, and right here, we're going to type in, I want to add a meeting with Tim tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay, that's going to go through and it knows it's not a voice recording, so it sends it false and sends it down this pathway, and then we can edit the field. So we're actually just going to do this now, hook this up to our AI agent so that it can get through, but we're going to change it here and add a field. All we want to do here is we want it to be text and make sure it's lowercase right here, right? And then just put that in there. Easy as that. So we want to make sure this field text is the same as it is up here, right? So it's text up here as well when we go into it, but because the OpenAI agent receives JSON text, so we just want to make sure it comes across as this. So we'll process it right here and execute the step to make sure it goes through, and then we can execute our step here, and let's watch it work. Oh, so we have an error right here. Let's go check it out. Hopefully we can fix it. Unable to assign access without access token. So maybe we just used the wrong. Okay, now we're gonna try again. Now that we've changed each of these to the proper account, it should go through now. Sweet. Okay, awesome. So let's make sure that worked. And awesome, it put our meeting with Tim at 5 p.m. tomorrow. So today is Tuesday, put it tomorrow on Wednesday. Okay, now we're gonna go back here, and that all looks good. Now we just want it to be able to tell us what it's done or communicate with us. We want the AI agent to be able to talk back to us and let us know what it's doing, or give us updates, right? This is the user interface side for us, so we want to make sure it can talk to us. So we're gonna add another Telegram node here. And we should just allow it to send a text message. Keep it simple. And what are we going to do here? Okay, we're going to open this back up. And okay, we just need the Telegram's already set up. Send message, right? We just need the chat ID. So our chat ID should be over here. It should be under chat right here. And then ID, super simple, makes it easy for us. But there is a bunch of different IDs, so don't use those. Make sure it's the chat ID, right? And then text. What text do we want it to be sending? And that's the output of the AI agent. So it has scheduled a meeting with Tim tomorrow at 5 p.m. So we'll go right here. And then once we execute that, we should see it down here. Awesome. So I have scheduled a meeting with Tim tomorrow at 5 p.m. If you need to add any other details or adjust the time, just let me know. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, AI agent. But we hate that at the bottom, right? We don't like that, or we don't hate it, but we don't like it. This message was sent automatically with N8N. We don't want to see that. That happens even with emails, with everything. So all we need to do to fix that is turn this off. It's always going to attribute to N8N, and we love N8N, but we don't want this little message at the bottom. So we're just going to click that and make it easy, and that won't happen again. Okay, now here we are. It's all set up. So we'll just test it once. Let's run through. What do we want to do? Let's check out our Google Calendar. Because we just finished this, how about we do this? Schedule a party at 9 p.m. tonight. And then we got to make sure our workflow is listening, so it should execute. And it knows it's a voice recording, so it runs through. And our AI agent is doing what it needs to do, scheduling our party. And there we are. The party has been scheduled for tonight at 9 p.m. If you need to adjust the time or add any details, just let me know. And we check our calendar, and it's time for a party. It even knows it's prolonging our party and put it to 2 hours. So there we are. That is our full build. Hopefully I didn't overcomplicate anything for you guys. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Subscribe for more of these. I'm building every day for the next 90 days. And I would love to hear what you guys want to be built. Simple as that. So leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a great day. I'm Sebastian. This is Automation for Business. Thank you very much.